what's up? Ooh, today's a beautiful day. It's fall, it's my favorite time of weather. Love it. Love the leaves, love the color. Love that it's not so cold, but it's not so warm. It's perfect. That's not why we're here today. So today we're going to talk about a topic that is probably something that's super important but doesn't get talked about too much, and it's the reason why we fail as creatives. But we're not going to do it here. I'm actually going to take you guys to a place. Freaking almost forgot my camera. So today's topic is actually a really important one. It's something that I deal with on a constant basis, and it's something I think we all deal with on a constant basis as creatives, as people who are just trying to do something in this world. You know what I mean? I'm actually going to take you guys to a spot. Over a year ago, I almost threw in the towel. I almost gave up on filmmaking, photography, threw my gear away. I almost just did it and was just ready to be done and move on to something else. I'm going to take you to that spot now. Lot of water. I don't know if you guys can see. Zoomed in just a little bit. We're going right there. Yeah. Oh, that was slippery. Shoes are all wet, but hey, that's the nature of the game. Sometimes you gotta get shoes wet. Let's see what that does. So like I said, over a year ago, I was commissioned to do a video for our church. It was this video promoting our community groups that we were doing within our local church. And so I was like, perfect, I could do that. So I came up, wrote out the script, written all out exactly what I wanted to say. I had the shots in mind. It was gonna be an amazing video. I was super pumped for it, super excited. I was location scouting for it. And I was like, hey, what a perfect place to promote community than filming it in a park. So I was like, brilliant, let's film in a park. So I got all my gear together, packed up the car, drove to my local park, got to this spot, unpack the gear, get ready to go. Sit down, got the script ready, take a couple deep breaths, hit record on the camera, and nothing. I couldn't say anything. I couldn't get through the first line of the script. I felt this weird feeling of maybe it was just bugs or jitters or whatever. So I was like, okay, so I took a deep breath, said my name a few times in the camera like an idiot, and couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it. There are cars driving by, there's people everywhere. I mean, it's a park. I mean, it's a community park. There's people and cars everywhere. And I just froze. I just froze. I couldn't say anything. I couldn't speak. I was hyperventilating. It was scary. It was terrifying. It was not a good feeling. You know, I came into making this project super excited for it. And when I get down to do it, I couldn't. So after an hour of just sitting here, you know, looking like an idiot, feeling like an idiot, feeling really stupid and just low, I packed up all my gear, packed up the car, and I drove home. And it was that split second, not really a split second, it was more of like, I seriously contemplated taking all my gear, throwing it in a ditch, lighting on a fire, and booking it. Quitting photography and filmmaking because of this one thing. And that one thing that we're gonna be talking about, and I believe is the one thing that causes us to fail as creatives, or really causes us to fail in anything, in life in general, and that is fear. You see, fear holds us bondage, it holds us captive. We're like prisoners to this concept of fear, this concept of we're afraid to do something because of X, Y, Z. With my case, I was afraid to make this video because I felt like I was going to be judged or embarrassed. You know, I felt embarrassed, or I was going to be judged and I looked like an idiot or stupid in front of these people. And that was fear. Fear is the reason why I couldn't make this video that I was commissioned to make. It was the reason why I walked away feeling like a failure. Fear. And we all deal with fear in many different ways. And particularly as creatives, fear is the reason why we never take that job. We never take the plunge and buy that piece of gear or take that opportunity to do what we love, because we're afraid that we're not good enough or that someone else is more qualified to do that job. And that may be true, but you never know until you try. And fear is the reason why we never try. Now, I want to read a section from this blog that I follow. It's a good friend of mine who started this blog. I'm actually in the middle of helping them redesign and creating logos and a brand form and all that stuff. So stay tuned. I'm going to link the blog down below. Just a forewarning, there is spiritual content in this blog. So if that's not your thing, no one's forcing you to read it, but I just thought I would put it out there as a disclaimer. But let me read something that she wrote in this blog. It says, "Fear had beat me down and strangled the life from me. It was gradual, and I usually masked it well, but most days I spent my time crying uncontrollably. That's what fear does. It strangles, immobilizes, subtracts, crushes, and shatters. It grips our soul and snatches every dream. What once was the joy of the Lord somehow becomes replaced with anger and hopelessness. Fear encourages us to give up and accept the misery of existence versus the excitement of a God-led pursuit." Now, stripping away all the spiritual aspect of that aside, that hit it so much on the head. I mean, I couldn't have asked for something better in writing right there. Fear will kill us. Fear kills our creativity. It kills our ambition. It kills our willingness to be able to go forward and to grow. Fear is a reason why we will always stay in the same place, become complacent, become comfortable with where we're at and what we're doing. Fear is not a good place to live. Wind is picking up real gnarly. This is a good spot. So the reason why I wanted to go back there is because I wanted to prove a point. Now, it took me over a year and a half to be able to go back to that same spot. I haven't been back to that spot in over a year, since I almost threw in the towel and gave up my dreams of wanting to be a filmmaker and a photographer and a creative. I wanted to visually sit there and conquer that fear that I had a year and a half ago. And honestly, it was tough. There was people walking, there was cars driving, there's people staring at me, looking at me like I'm an idiot. They probably still are. But if I can do it, you surely can do it. I know you can do it. And so you're asking yourself, okay, Chris, so you made your point. Fear is the reason why I'm not going to get my butt up, grab my gear, paint that picture, become a doctor, lawyer, whatever it is. So what do I do? Well, the first step is to acknowledge that fear. You want to acknowledge what you're afraid of, what's holding you back. Once you acknowledge that, then you got to make steps to try to conquer it. Now, it took me forever to finally muster up the courage to do it, but I made a plan, and I decided this is what I'm going to do. I want to do this. It's a passion of mine. It's my heart. It's my dream, and I'm going to conquer it. But not only that, another tip would be find people in your life that are willing to speak into your process, to speak life, words of life into you, whether you want to hear it or not. Because let me tell you, there are some things about us that we just don't want to hear. We don't want to grow. We don't want to change. We don't want to know that we're doing something wrong, because that just instills more fear. But find people, find friends, find family, find loved ones that are willing to speak the hard stuff in your life. I have people in my life that are set up, that are allowed to speak into my life, and I have no choice. Well, I guess I do have a choice, but I don't want to be that guy. I want to be a guy that doesn't grow, that doesn't change, that's not willing to do whatever it takes to be the better version of me. So I have those friends in my life that text me, call me, yell in my face and tell me what it is that I'm doing wrong and how I can change. It's because I give them that ability, but also it's because they love me. And they love what I'm doing, and they root for me. They're all about what I'm doing, and they're supportive. Find people that are supportive, that are willing to support your dreams. Woo-hoo-hoo. Man, dude, the water's rocking. This is good. I love this. I love it. Water is one of my favorite things. Just love water. This wind is horrible. In conclusion, fear is the reason why we'll never ever grow. We'll never get things done. We'll never be better versions of ourselves, and we'll always be subject to this bondage of fear. And I don't want that for you. I definitely don't want that for me or for my love. I don't want that for anyone. I want us to grow. I want us to be better in what we do. And it excites me to know that this is something that we can overcome. You know, some may equate their ability to not grow as a creative or whatever it is they do to lack of school or no money or whatever it is. And I think that's bogus. I think you don't need to spend thousands of dollars to go to a university to learn something. I mean, obviously, if you want to be a doctor, yeah, I don't want my doctor to be learning on YouTube or a surgeon or a lawyer. I don't want a guy defending me that has a YouTube degree, all right? Just letting you know. But if you're doing something like anything in the creative field of making videos or shooting photos or even writing a blog, like, you don't need to spend thousands of dollars for that. There are places like YouTube, this platform, that will help you with that. So I hope this is encouraging. I hope you got to hear my heart. I was excited to bring you guys along the journey of going to a spot where I almost gave up, and to show you after a year later that I was able to conquer it. And I know you can conquer your fear too. So I think I'm gonna end it here. Go out there, go crush it, follow your dreams, conquer the fears that you have, and I'm super excited to see what you guys produce in life. All right, peace.